Today's video is about random tricks and tips with your tractor. Check it out. If you're like me, you always learn something new when you use your tractor or watch YouTube and get tips and tricks from other people on YouTube. Some of them work and some of them don't. Most of them do work, and in my case, some of my tricks work for you and some of them don't, but they work for me. So I'm gonna show you what my tips and tricks are today, and they're just random. Some of them are geared towards getting ready for winter, because that's kind of what I'm doing today, and I figured since I'm out here doing stuff, I might as well show you. Okay, the first one is my fuel filter housing and how I'm gonna use this foam and wrap it so that it's kind of protected from the elements this winter. Some of you guys in Canada know what I'm talking about. It gets really cold here in Minnesota. Also, either way, you should still put some anti-gel diesel treatment in your fuel. Okay, back to the foam on the filter. Let me show you what I did. Here I'm cutting out notches so that the fuel line can pass through. That way you can get higher up on the fuel filter housing for the most protection. Notice I'm putting one zip tie on the bottom of the fuel filter housing, and then I'll put another one on the top to lock the foam into place. With it situated like this, you can lift up and still check for moisture or water in the filter. All right, after all that, let me show you what I did with my radiator. I use a piece of cardboard just to block the airflow, but not the whole thing. And I'm using actually the bug screen, or not the bug screen, the debris screen in your filter here. I'm using that as a template. I even added the little ear here, so that way you can pull it out. See how it kind of matches up? And let me show you what it looks like on the bench. I blocked 3/4 of the side that had the upper radiator hose and then left this side open. I only use this when it's 10 degrees or below. I wouldn't recommend using it any higher than 10 degrees. And keep an eye on the temperature gauge. It also helps to keep a full tank in your tractor. The volume will hold heat better too. Another thing I like to do is keep my tractor running. With all the wind and the wind chill up here, shutting it off and starting it again probably isn't good for your battery, and you don't want your engine cooling down from operating temperature once you get it warmed up. When you go to park it, that's when you should shut it off. Another thing I'm doing today is installing this pigtail on my batteries with a battery tender. It comes with a 10 amp fuse that's built into the pigtail. It even comes with the connections for the battery, and all I have to do is plug it in. This is the battery tender I like to use because it's affordable and it's really compact and easy to use. When you're working on a battery, it's best to start on a negative side and disconnect the negative side of the battery, but I didn't want to mess up my radio station, so I left it connected. After you're all done, it's a good time to add some battery protector. And don't forget to cover the wire with split loom. I zip tied the fuses together for my lights and this pigtail, and then I ran it down the side of the battery behind this bracket into this grommet. That way I can shut the hood without pinching the wire. I used to park my tractor in a shed, a 10 by 12 shed, and when I parked it, I always kept the hood open so the mice don't feel comfortable under the hood. They'll start making nests under your hood because the hood's covering it, and there's a lot of little areas they like to crawl around and make messes. So another tip is I got this Cat's magnetic block heater, and I put this on my oil pan. I know the oil pan's not level because it's going around that drive shaft that goes to the front four-wheel drive assist, but it's close enough and it makes contact enough that it does heat up the pan. And on the really cold days, you kind of want your oil to be more fluid than like a slushy. And that leads me to the oil. I run 1030 or 10W30, and the dealer said that's good for my year-round weather in Minnesota. It's good for cold temperatures. From what I understand, ambient temperature at 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, by the way, 1540 is good up to 20 degrees Fahrenheit, from what I understand. Or should I say down to 20 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, let's talk paint. This is the stuff they sell at the dealership. I know it's kind of expensive, but it's worth it because I try to be cheap. And I went on Amazon and I bought that Krylon Kubota color, new Kubota color or whatever they call it. And it faded. I mean, you could see the difference on my Grapple on the side rail where I used the, you know, the Kubota paint, and then you could see on the inside, because I was, you know, I thought I could save money by getting the good stuff on the outside and then use the Krylon on the inside. I mean, it matched when I first sprayed it, but after it sat in the weather for only 1 year, I mean, you could see the difference. This is another example on my box blade where I did some touch-up work. And then this is my ballast box, and you can really see it here. This is about 3 years old. I've actually had more luck with going to like Home Depot and getting a sample and some good exterior paint and just rolling it on. The next thing I'm about to show you has to be done outside because I'm not running my leaf blower in here. When I use my leaf blower, I like to yell, woo-hoo! It gets all that frustration out, you know. I did some dirt work, and you can see it's a little dirty. Actually, it's really dirty. I'm about a half hour away from the dealership, and I don't feel like going there right now. I don't know if you ever had this happen, but if you're doing a lot of dirt work and your air cleaner gets plugged, bring your leaf blower with you, which I like to do anyway, because if I'm doing a lot of dirt work, the whole tractor gets dusty. So I bring the leaf blower just to blow everything out. You can actually use your leaf blower to blow out your air cleaner, and it'll get you by until you get a chance to go to the dealership. Let me show you. Just make sure you can reach it. I'll try to show you. Look at all that dust. So if you know if air is going out, it's got to be able to suck it back in, right? Good enough to finish the day. You have to have a leaf blower that has a really small hole or a small funnel type tip, and it'll fit inside your air cleaner just like that. And then you blow your leaf blower and it'll actually blow the dirt out of your air cleaner. In a pinch, I've used an air compressor, but these paper elements, you can actually split the paper if you put the nozzle too close. So I would use it from far away. The leaf blower trick seems to work really good for me. Let me know what you think in the comments too. All right, I know you guys have tips and tricks that you use and you do. If you have something you want to share, put it in the comments, because I'm really interested in what you guys are doing for cold weather, even in summer. Summer is over for us pretty much, and it's probably over for you too, but it's really over for us. But yeah, just any tips and tricks that you've learned owning your tractor or have done that could help somebody out. Sometimes we'll see something that somebody does and it will actually trigger an idea for something else that's very similar. Put that in the comments below. That'd be awesome if we can all share and learn something. I guess that's it. Thanks for watching, and keep it on the sunny side. And your fuel filter, or not your fuel filter. I'm up here in Minnesota, and some of you guys out in Canada, or Canada, is it Canada or Canada? Canada. It's Canadian. Anyways, some of you guys in Canada.